Good morning. Welcome back to G&H Honey Bees. It is June the 7th, Saturday, 2025, and we've had some really glorious weather for the last 4 or 5 days. It's going to get up to about 22 Celsius today, or about, 73 Fahrenheit. But anyway, we got a story to tell you. So, back in the 1st of May, this colony, the big colony, and that other big colony down there were prepping to swarm. So, I took the queen and a bunch of bees and put them in nukes, which are now in 10 frames. So, there's this one here, and the one down at the far end. And just let them progress. And let these big boxes raise new queens. And on or about the 19th of May, I was standing out here looking at the entrance, and I heard very loud queen piping from this side of this box. And then I heard another queen pipe. Seemed to be over in this side of the box. So I opened them up, and sure enough, I found 3 queens running around in there. And I put them into queen cages, and then I immediately did a couple of 3-frame splits. I put one split in there, and I put one split in that little nuke that's sitting over there beside the double high medium. And then I put one of the new queens in that box, one in the other box, and I let the third one go back into this box. And so I let them sit, and on the 21st of May, the 21st? No, 28th. 28th of May, I looked in here. I've just got my little notes here. 28th of May, I looked in here. There was no sign of that new queen. And these queens are all blonde, by the way. They were all Italian colored. And I'd also found a new queen in the other big box there. And she was black, carniolan colored. And she was nowhere to be found. And the weather at that time had been kind of nasty. Wet, rainy, cold, overcast. So I figured they went out to mate and just never returned. So I did a preemptive strike. Instead of them turning into laying worker hives, I captured the original queens out of those splits and put them back in. Put them into slow release queen cages and put them back into the big boxes. And I did the same for this one and put them back into the big box. And that seems to be fine. They seem to be happy, and all is well with the world at the moment. So on the 29th, instead of waiting for this box and that box down at the far end to make emergency cells and raise new queens, I went up to Duncan, which is about an hour's drive from here, to my favorite bee supply warehouse. And I got 2 new carniolan queens, and I put one in here and one down at that far end. And of course they were in slow release cages too. And so I checked on Sun last Sunday, and the girls had released this queen, these girls had released this queen, and the same for those other 2 boxes. And I did a quick check, and the queens were running around amongst the bees, so everything seems to be good. So I've left them sit until now, and now I want to open them up and get the queens marked, make sure they're laying, make sure they're still in there, for one thing. Make sure they're laying, and get them marked. Now, last Sunday I did a check on that nuke, and I did a check on that nuke. And the new queens that were in those boxes had just started laying eggs, so they appeared to be well mated. But the one thing that kind of surprised me was the queen that I originally put in here when I did the split was Italian colored. She was a golden colored. But the queen that's in here is black with stripes, which almost looks like the queen that should have been in that box there. So I think that queen went out to mate and she came back to the wrong place. But anyway, we're going to have a look at her and see how they're getting on. And I also want to check to see if this one needs another box or if it needs a honey super on it. And I want to make sure that check and see how that population is doing in that far box, and see if they need a second brood chamber. So anyway, let me get my gear on, and we might as well start marking queens down at that end, if need be. So I'll be back in a moment. All right. Now I've been feeding the nuke sugar water, and let's get you over here a little closer. And I had a pollen patty in here, but they've eaten that whole pollen patty. And there's not a really large population in here. Let's just move them over so I have some space. See her there. Well, they've got brood. She's nearly a half a frame of brood on that side. And there she is right there. Fairly good looking queen. You see her right there. She's not as big as she could be, but oh yeah, you're gonna run, aren't you? Alright, I'm gonna put you down. Do this without hurting her. There. We got her in there. Of course I caught one of the bees. Yeah. Now, this is my... I had one of these queen marking tools, and I didn't like the push-up thing on it, so I've 3D printed a screw chamber. Come on, turn over. Can't mark your belly. That up there a bit. Turn over. Oh, she's going to be difficult. Gotta see if I can get her to turn over. on, turn over. There, I got her trapped. Trapped in there. All right. She's got a nice blue dot on her. So I'm just going to let that dry. I'm just going to set that over here for a minute. I've got two colors of blue. One is a really dark blue and it's hard to see, but this one's a lighter blue. And blue is for this year, so. I just give it a minute for that paint to dry up. Now comes the other sketchy part, is getting the getting that gate open. Come on out of there. There she goes. There she is. It's going to be easy to see. So that's one. So I'm going to put these back together and then we'll move on to that next box. Alrighty then. This is the new Carney. Let's just make sure she's not. I don't see her on the bottom of the lid. And hopefully she's up here. Good number of bees. I don't know if they're ready for a honey super, but I may just throw one on there. Yeah, they're making some honey. Well, that's full of fresh nectar. That's full of nectar. Now, when I took the queen, the original queen, out of here, and they were without a queen for one day, they started making emergency cells like right away. So when I saw that that queen was released, I had to go through here and take off all the emergency cells. working on that one. Yeah, they're not ready for a honey super yet. Looks like there's a lot of bees up here, but there really isn't. That's got honey in it too. They may just be filling these upper frames with nectar. All right, I'm gonna take some time and have a look for her. I'll be back when I find her. Alright, so I found her. I'll keep my eye on her. That cage over top of her. I think she's up in there. Come on, girls, off. Yeah, I got her. And she is laying. So, let's get her marked. Come on, off. Away you go. I don't know if you can see her in there. She's good size. Come on. Get off. So I just cranked this threaded part up until I have the queen captured in between the openings in the marking tool. Just to immobilize her. So there, you can see she's stuck in there. Quit moving. There, she's got a dot on her. I know, I haven't got much sunlight under this roof, but so I'm just going to let her sit for a minute. Yeah, I had to go right into the bottom box to find her. Come on, out from between that space. So we're good to go with this box by the looks of it. Trying to get you over here a little closer. Get off the cage. All right. Okay, let's see if she crawls out of there. Just about caught her in that. There she goes. Come on, go down in there. I think she's in. Yeah, so she's back in the box. Alright, so this is the second split. Let's take that little bit of burr comb off of there. Not much left of that pollen patty. They've devoured that. There. So let's see. Oh, she's laying good too. Lots of new grubs around the outside of that brood pattern there, and there's fresh grubs in those open cells. Now let's see if I can see her. She shouldn't be too hard to find. Same on this side. Alright, Missy, where are you? On this other frame. And I've only got 3 frames to look through here. It shouldn't be too hard to find a queen. There she is. She's got her head in a cell. See her right there? Got her head stuck in a cell. Where's my cage? No, where did she go? This is the part I don't like because I don't want to catch them in that flap. There. I got her. Oh yeah, she's in there. So once again, I'm going to do the same thing. Crank that up. Get most of them other bees out of the cage. Yeah, I feel I have way more control with this screw than I would have if I just had the thing that you slide up and down. So I feel more comfortable doing it this way. Come on, get in, lined up. And I wish we had, sometimes I wish we didn't have this roof here. There. Get the pen. Here's mine. Come on, turn around there. That's good enough. It's got a blue mark on her. Now just back off on that screw. I don't know if that's too close. And just let that sit for a minute or two. Set that over there for a second. All right. Get off of there. All right. That should be open enough for her to run out of there. There she goes. Another queen marked and no harm done. Alright, so I'm going to get them closed up and we'll move on to the next box. So I don't know if the camera was actually on when I was looking in this box, but I did find the new queen. She's laying eggs. There's a couple of frames of fresh eggs, and I got her marked, got her back in there, and I've added a second box to it. So sorry if I didn't get the camera turned on for marking her. She's a nice big black queen. Carniolan. Looks really nice. And so I think we're off to the races. And yeah. So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the wild blackberries are just starting to bloom. So the flow was on. And with this warm weather, it's only going to get better in the next few days. So hopefully we're going to get some honey out of that. And next week we're going to go up to the bush to see how the fireweed's doing and figure out when we can move the girls up there for the fireweed season, which is probably going to be the middle of July, but it can vary from year to year what time we take them up there. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video, and having a great day and your bees are doing well, and we'll catch you again on the next one. Bye for now.